Hey, Mustafa, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I was had you muted. I was on the phone.
No, I can't hear anything.
You can't hear me?
Yes, give me
I can hear you
Oh,
fine.
there we go. I got
Yeah,
it.
I can hear
I
you
got
fine.
on yours.
checking. I still have the echo.
The echo though. Okay. Let me see your headphones for 1 second.
I think you need to go into the options and turn it off from here.
Test, 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 test. So it's just a slight lag on your voice,
Yeah.
which is pretty normal for like radio and stuff. Like you're going to hear your own voice come through.
Right. Okay.
You think you're okay with it?
We'll do what we can.
I mean, what you can always do when you're talking is lift up one ear or something like that and just put it on when they're talking.
Yep. Is everybody seeing this?
No.
I see it.
I think we're backstage.
Oh, maybe you. Okay, now we're back.
No, put back on the. Did we just get flipped the switch?
I think it runs 60 seconds and then it goes on.
We don't have it in a loop. All right, so I guess we're on. Just a second, guys.
Those are gentlemen.
Jamie, how's it going, brother?
Oh, it's all right, man. Just recovering from the weekend.
The weekend?
Just
What
recovering
party
from the
did you
weekend.
go to?
We had a show in Omaha, in
How'd that go?
Nebraska. Pretty good. It's kind of crazy because the whole the global bastard going on right now, and lots of masks, lots of hand sanitizer, and social distancing, and they limited the amount of people that could go in, and tickets sold and everything like that. But what was crazy was even though they had a lot of pre-sales and stuff like that, adhering to their guidelines.
Yeah.
From what I understand, 35% of the people that bought tickets did not show up.
No.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
35% did not show up to the show. But we still beat last year's numbers, so that's what was important to me.
35%. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was significant.
So was it a good time? Was it worth your while?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing is like the shows, obviously, I go into these shows with a certain, how many of something I want to sell or a certain dollar amount or anything like that. But mostly is a lot of it, a big part of it actually is just seeing people, God, there's a friend of ours. We talked to him on the phone. We had not seen him in a year before this last weekend. It was crazy. There was actually a couple guys had not seen him in a year since everything started. It was nice to see them, but at the same time, it was also like, you still want to kind of adhere to the guidelines and keep your distance, and none of that hugging stuff or shaking hands or anything like that. Or if you do, you're like grabbing hand sanitizer right away and bathing yourself in it, So,
Right.
but I don't know. Overall, it was a good time, though. It's a good time.
Mustafa, have you done any shows lately?
Yeah, there's actually been a lot in the Dallas area that I've been going to. I'll have 3 appearances in March.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. One of them's like a sports card show, but I'm counter programming, And then, yeah, a few others coming up.
Mr. Bob McLeod has joined us.
Hello.
How you doing, Bob?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Good, good. We were just talking about shows. Jamie just did one last weekend, and apparently Mustafa has 3 coming up. Coming up.
I have none coming up.
Me neither. I guess that's we have to decide what's the right way to go. Stuck in a
I'm not
room
really
or
comfortable
being
yet
brave.
going to a show.
Sorry, that Bob?
I'm not really comfortable yet going to a show. I'm waiting to get vaccinated.
Well, the way things are going, you're gonna get it way before I do.
I wouldn't bet on it.
So we haven't started up, so let's get moving and grooving. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the 2nd episode of MBartist Alley Live. This is we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and are we in the Collector's Toy Shop now?
I'm not sure.
We're just waiting to get confirmation on the Collector's Toy Shop. So we are here to chat and engage. So if you're joining us and you have any questions for any of our esteemed artists, and I'll introduce them in a second, feel free to type it in the comment section there and it'll pop up here, and we'll do our best to answer them. So going around the clock, wait, it's backwards. Going around the clock, we'll start with IDW Marvel DC inker Mustafa Musa. How you doing today?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
What's on the board today?
What's on the board is trying to stay warm and keep electricity.
How much snow has fallen?
It doesn't matter about how much snow. Just Texas isn't built for this, so there's power outage. No, I'm not kidding. Like, the infrastructure is just not in place, and there's a lot of people really hurting down here. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. There's people without power for 3 days. Like, it got to within 30 something degrees in here. Like in my house, like where I live. Yeah. No water right now.
No water?
Yeah, we don't have any water. Yeah. So that's why I'm trying to get on here early in case something happens again.
Oh,
Wow.
dude,
Yeah.
I'm
Sorry
sorry
to
to hear
be
that.
a bummer, but like it sucks right now. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Actually, when I heard about the Texas things, I thought of you right away.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah. No, we're holding okay. My mom and dad are both without power, so they might be both coming here tonight to stay with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, sorry to hear that. So what is it specifically? Is it just a cold snap or is there actual snow? What's the...
Yeah. So like we don't really get snow down here. If we do, it melts within half a day, and the snow is just kind of parked, and there's ice, and people don't drive in ice. We don't have winter coats. We don't have any of that. Like the houses aren't built for warmth, they're built for like trying to keep you cool, And power grid is overloaded, so there's just rolling blackouts, and yeah, it's disaster area down here.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, sorry, man.
No,
Get this
man.
out of the way
This
early
is
so I
real,
can-
man.
Yeah.
This is real. Are you?
Yeah, I'm not working. That's for sure.
What about the kids? How are the kids doing?
Kids, they're keeping warm. They
Everybody's
just lost
huddled
power
up.
this morning, so. Yeah.
Well, how about
are you
you, Jamie?
expecting-
So
Are you
moving
expecting
from
to get,
Mustafa,
everything, your water back and everything soon? Have they said anything?
The water, it's at the thing where it's like a little trickle and you have to boil it because it's not safe. So I'm just going to use bottled water until it looks and smells normal again. I honestly don't know.
oh wow, you're serious.
Yeah, it's,
this is
it's
serious
I don't
trouble.
know, man. Check the news. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's been in the national news, and I've been following the story. It's crazy. I can't
Yeah.
believe you guys are having to go through that right now. My heart goes out to you.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. I remember the last time we had like it this bad. It was like 1989. When it got into single digits and stuff. Like it just doesn't happen down here.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
to
that
be a
brings
bummer.
a serious
Talk about
tone.
comic stuff.
No,
No, I
it's
mean,
real, man, and it's good to talk
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
So here's hoping things get back on the up and up for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope so. Hope so soon.
All right. See, look, I'm gonna do like the downer pose now.
Yeah.
I'm
Here,
feeling for you. All right, let's drop down to Mr. Jamie Coker, pop art specialist. Mr. I go to every show, I don't care where it is, rain, sleet, or snow.
Yeah. Not quite, but nice.
What's on the drawing table today?
Oh man, you know what? We got back from our show. Was it early Monday, and I had to sleep, man. I think Monday was mostly sleep. Tuesday, I kind of just decompressed, and today, as soon as this is over, I'm gonna be working on a Batman Who Laughs commission, and then I got a cowboy western comic book cover commission, which I'm kind of interested in. So a zombie cowboy too, no less. So
Wow.
So let's circle to that, and we're gonna talk about commissions in terms of how you guys engage with the customers and fans and how we go about that. But beside Jamie, which is right below me, legend, Hall of Famer, co-creator of the New Mutants, Mr. Bob McLeod. How we doing, sir?
Pretty good. Jamie, who's that zombie Western cover for? Because I did a zombie Western cover a few years ago.
oh my gosh, I wish I could remember the name offhand. It's in my notes. I don't remember his name offhand. I apologize.
I'm just
It's
wondering
a
if it's the
small
same one.
comic.
Probably not. Mine was, I think it was called Frontier Graveyard.
No, I know it's not that. I know it's not that. It's shoot. I wish I could remember, but I think Cowboy is in the title. I think Cowboy is in the title.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sounds fun.
let's
yeah.
talk
It's a
about
lot
that,
of
Bob.
fun.
When you did your zombie commission, what was that like? Like, how did you engage with the customer? Like, were you taken aback with the ask, or how'd that go about?
It wasn't a commission. It was a cover for a small press comic, and the writers and other artists and everything on the comic wanted me to draw them as zombies, cowboy zombies on the cover. So I got to do caricatures and cowboys and zombies all combined. It was a lot of fun.
So, in terms of the style, did you tap into your old Mad Magazine ambitions, or did you do it more straight up?
No, it's very much Mad Magazine style.
Do you have it readily available to show us?
Oh, where is that thing? I might be able to put my hands on it sometime in the next half hour or so.
That'd be awesome. What about you, Jamie? How was the ask brought to you? Your zombie cowboy cover.
I had posted this poster, this framed poster I did of a bloody Wolverine with all these arrows and everything sticking out of him, and axes, arrows, spears, all kinds of stuff. And this guy had, reached out to me. That's how a lot of them start. They just send me a DM, and they're like, "Hey, how much is a commission?" And this guy had like a whole Google Drive thing full of notes about this character, about the comic, some sample pages, all this other stuff. And so I got he basically gave me a dossier of everything relating to this character. So I was basically able just to step into that world and understand the character before I even start drawing, which was really nice. Because sometimes you get these commissions and these people are just like, well, just draw such and such, and they're very wishy-washy with the details. But this guy was just like, this is what I want. This is the dossier. Everything in there, even the look of the character, he pretty much had it down to the T. He's like, the hat should look just like this. The outfit should be just like that. It should be this color, all this other stuff. I was like, okay, sure. Yeah, well, if you spell it out for me like that, so much easier. So much easier.
Bob, it sounds like if this is the same guy, he's evolved the concept a while since you've done it.
Well, I managed to pull up a scan of my cover. Am I able to share my screen with you guys?
I don't know. Can you figure it out?
Well, there's a thing down here at the bottom that says share.
Give it a go. Let's see if it blows it up. Ladies and gentlemen, our first share. Let's see. If we blow up and we go offline, well, oh well.
Hang on, share screen.
Share screen.
Um,
While you're figuring that out, we got our first comment. Miss Francine Delgado says, I miss you guys today. She's not feeling well. So she is. She wasn't feeling well today, so she's wanted everybody to know she's here in spirit.
Oh,
There we go. That's cool.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Wow, we should
wow.
do some more screen sharing.
Yeah.
That looks really cool.
thanks.
Bob, can I get you to do a zombie one of my family?
That would cost a lot, Steve.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get yourself done in a cowboy zombie apocalypse, just like you have here, please feel free to DM Bob McLeod en masse. Now, there's only one request. If you do DM Bob, you have to add a
Danny Moonstar.
Danny Moonstar. You know, we're on a roll here. Who else has something that they can do a screen share with? Let's do a little show and tell.
did I mine freeze up?
I think you froze up.
Yeah. Hold on.
So we won't ask you. Mustafa, do you have
Yeah.
anything you want to share? Something cool?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I'll try to find something cool here. Was not prepared.
Well, while you're
screen
doing that,
share.
you guys find something you want to
Okay,
share. 'cause
here,
Bob,
here. I got
Bob just threw down the gauntlet.
Okay, so here's okay. I got something. Let me blow it up here.
And while Mustafa is blowing stuff up, if anybody has any questions, just feel free to drop it in the comments.
There we go.
Jamie's
There we
back. There he is.
Let's see.
Jamie, you got
share.
anything on your hard drive you want to show off?
Oh, I'm using this janky laptop here. There's nothing on this thing.
There we go. You got that?
Here we go. Let's see it. Survey says, drum roll.
Is that not working?
Wah, wah.
There's
It's not
another
working?
thing you have to click to get it to share.
Oh, do I?
Yeah. You have to hit the any key. Guys, we are now on Collector's Toy Shop. Everybody on Collector's Toy Shop, thank you for joining us.
Oh, there we are.
Oh, we're showing off some stuff. Look at that. There we
There it
go. What's this piece?
That is the Justice League.
Thank you for Mr. Obvious.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that, man.
Is this for a book, a variant? Were you bored?
That's because I thought it was going to be fun to work on, and I was right. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, cool. Very cool. So here's another question.
There's a preview of it if you look on the screen. There's a preview of it in color. Right
Ooh,
there.
is there a preview of color?
Do you see? Do you see it?
No,
pointing
I
to it.
just see the black and white.
No. I'm pointing to it on my screen.
You can either share your
Oh,
screen or the application.
Yeah. Here, I'll. I don't know.
it's
I'll exit
framed
this.
on his wall.
That's right.
It's on the other side of his photo.
Yeah.
I still think that should be a T-shirt,
That sounds horrifying.
and you should wear it.
That sounds really bad, actually.
That's cool. So now we're live on the Collector's Toy Shop. Thanks everybody for joining us. So now we're on YouTube, Facebook Live, and the Collector's Toy Shop. If anybody has any questions for our artists, we have Mustafa Musa, Jamie Coker, and Hall of Famer Bob McLeod. Feel free to drop it in the comments. So far, we've had Francine Delgado miss us. So anyways, we did a little show and tell. Speaking of which, I have our top 10 art prints, our top 10 sellers. Should we reveal them?
Sure.
Don't everybody get excited.
Let's do it.
I don't have an audience to play off of, so I got to play off you guys.
Oh, okay.
This could be short. All right, we know fancy graphics, so I just have them in front of me. So this is sales from when we launched MBartist, September to December. So number 10, Beauty and the Beast. This is from some guy named Mahola. We don't name names. Number 9, Mr. Coker. They Live.
All right. Okay.
Look at that. Did you see Irving unbox his canvas of this?
I did not. You had messaged me when it was going on, and I tried to get on, but I couldn't.
I'll
So I'm
send
gonna
it to
try.
you. It's awesome. Like he went, it hit a memory button on him. He got all emotional.
Really?
And then, yeah, because apparently when his kid was growing up, I hope he was older. Apparently this was their favorite movie that they would watch together.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Dad, you want to watch They Live?
That's cool.
But anyways, and then you know how we do the numbering? We only do 100 of these. So Vicky was like, "Hey, you got lucky with the Cobra Commander because he got the number 1 for Cobra Commander."
Mhm.
So he looks at it, and guess what number it was?
1.
Number 1. Dude's got 2 number 1s.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Nice.
number 9. Number 8, ironically, Mr. Mustafa Musa,
Why is it ironic?
because it's yours and you're here.
I think that's just coincidental. That's fine. That's okay.
Coincidental and ironic. Aren't they the same thing?
All right.
What's the difference between coincidental and ironic, Bob?
I don't know.
Welcome to Atlantis Morris.
There's an unexpected part.
We'll ask Alexa.
Yeah, we'll do that.
What number was I at? This is number
That's 7.
8.
Say 8.
Number 8. Number 7. You're on a roll, Mustafa.
Oh, really? That one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I
This one has outsold the other one.
Okay. All right. Sure. It doesn't at shows. I know that.
No?
No, people like the helmet off. I like
Really?
the helmet on.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently not here.
Son of a gun.
Yeah. Okay, what number am I at? I lost track already.
That's 7.
7. Number 6. And I know this is going to be higher, Bob. I could tell you that we sold 4 of these last Friday. G.I. Joe.
Oh, wow.
Like we had 10 of these, and I think we only had we sold 4 like pop. It was really cool. And then as we were selling the GI Joe toys, they were asking us to throw them in.
Nice. Yep.
And sticking on the GI Joe theme, I think I'm at 5 now, right? 10.
Yeah.
Let's say it's
6
5.
is-
Number 5, Jamie.
Coco.
Coco Crisp.
It still feels weird to say Coco, so I'm just gonna say Cobra Commander.
He's
That's
hot. He's hot Coco. He's hot Coco. Number 5. Do you know what the funny thing is? Is this kind of took off over Christmas?
Yeah.
Like it just went pop. In January, the people who bought this one came back and bought the other ones,
Oh wow.
and they're all
Okay.
on the wait list for Shredder.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, it's very
Nice.
cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
All right, number 4. He's going to be here a little later. He's still figuring out how to turn on his computer. John Hebert's Thor. I love Sanju did a great job on the coloring.
Oh, Sanju, yeah.
Yeah, that's all Sanju.
Oh,
I
yeah, he's
love Sanju.
He's great.
He is. Maybe one day we'll get him on. You're doing math, aren't you?
Well, the time over there, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we can wake him up.
Yeah.
3 o'clock P. All right, here's our top 3. Number 3. Gotcha, man.
I wouldn't have expected that one.
Wow.
No? I'm sorry,
No.
man. Every once in a while I can pull a gold one out.
It's not the artwork, just the subject matter. I didn't know there were so many fans, yeah.
I know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't buy them. I just report the stats.
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 2, Mr. Harden isn't with us today.
That's a good one.
It is a good one, isn't it? Bob, what do you think of this one?
I think it's great.
I was baiting you on that. Mustafa, any idea what number 1 is?
Well, you kind of told me before.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if this is still number 1.
Yeah, it's one of those evergreens. Like, doesn't matter where I'm at, doesn't matter what show, what year, if there's movies out, if there's not, it always sells well.
So this weekend, I got a video from Weston Wu. He's bought 4 or 5 canvases off us.
Is botten a Canadian word?
I'm sorry?
Is botten a Canadian word?
He bought? Did I say botten?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said botten.
Yes, many bottons died to bring us these passwords.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Take off, eh?
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Weston Wu, all the way from Singapore, he sent me a video. He bought a 27 by 40 of these.
Wow. Nice.
He did. Nice big one on the canvas prints. And he did an unboxing for us. And he showed us, so he tried to cheat and put it on an established screw. And it just went,
Oh boy. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what happened? We sent you a screw. He goes, I know, I was trying to be lazy.
Oh no.
But we love Weston. He's been great. He's bought 4 or 5 canvases of us. So that's our top
Do it
10.
again.
Yeah.
That's our top 10. So next week I'll be able to report January sales. I can tell you that our first distributor order from Germany came through, and we had essentially there's a gallery in Germany, and all they do is sell Star Wars. So they've bought 6 of your Star Wars and 6 of each of Jamie's Mandalorian pieces.
Oh, cool.
So that'll be dropped. So Bob, we need to get you to do a Star Wars. Well, you have Star Wars.
I've done a lot of Star Wars, but I should do a Mandalorian for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have a Yoda, but not a baby Yoda.
No. Well, I don't know if he's still the rage. He's been dying down a little bit. I think as soon as they gave him a name, everybody was like, what?
Yeah.
Grogu?
Yeah.
Look, see, Jamie's like, yep.
Yeah.
Jamie
Yeah,
refuses
people
to
love
call him
Baby
Grogu.
Groot. When it was Baby Groot, people loved that. They wanted Baby Groot art. When it became Teenager Groot, nobody cared.
I feel the same way with my kids.
Yeah.
You're not cute anymore. Go mow the lawn. I'm going to get it from my wife now, ain't I?
That's
Yes.
So there's our top 10, ladies and gentlemen. So it looks like it's just going to be the 4 of us hanging out today. I do know that John Hebert will be with us. Joe sends his regards from, he's at CGC doing autographs. So he said he would try to dial in while he's doing a lot of autographs, but I don't know if they'll let him. And who else is missing? James, I know, is on an airplane right now coming back from Mexico. And Chad is probably doing his university gig. So we had a big round table last week. This week there was the power of 4, and I think that's good. That's fine. Everybody gets to chat a little bit more. So let's talk about commissions there. Mr. Bob McLeod. So last week you were talking about how you get just bombarded with New Mutant requests. How do you go about deciding commissions that you accept and ones that you just don't respond to?
Well, I respond to everything. I've stopped doing smaller commissions at home and just do them at shows now. So the ones I do at home tend to be cover recreations or new commissions that are, more expensive, take longer to do, and working my way down my list on those currently. I showed you the one last week of the couple-page comic I'm doing for the New Mutants for this guy in Belgium. Still working on that.
But So let's talk about the gentleman in Belgium. Like, how did he get a hold of you? Like, how did he talk you into it?
I mean, I think I've met him at at a convention before, and he contacted me through Facebook Messenger and just requested this. He has gotten several commissions from European artists and maybe some American artists for his birthday in the past. And so this is his, I believe, his 50th birthday. And so New Mutants was one of his favorite comics and wanted to get the New Mutants this year.
Cool. What about you, Mustafa?
As far as how I acquire commissions,
Well, in terms of like, how do they usually find you? Like, what's the process like? Do you ever say no?
So if it's something that's super specific and super complicated, I just ask for more money. I learned it. I think it was Neil Adams who said it. It was like, if it's something that I don't want to do, I just charge more. And if they say no, then that's fine. I got other things. And if they say yes, then I get more money, But I don't know. From shows, I would get commissions. And then I kind of stopped. I don't really like doing commissions at shows because I don't feel like I can really focus on them. Like I'll work on them in the hotel or something, but at the show, I really am there to just kind of like talk and chat, and stopping to work. I don't know. I just never really liked it. The lighting, people bumping the desks, all of that. So I would take commissions and work on them at home, and then you just have like a nice little stack of commissions to work on when you have free time in between deadlines, in between shows. And of course, with no shows anymore, I've been kind of going through my commissions. But luckily, I'll get requests on social media, Facebook, Instagram, personal, like a friend of mine who I haven't seen in over 20 years, who I went to school with. He lost his father-in-law, and he wanted his father-in-law to be like a superhero. And so they're like, "Can you do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. I do that. That's what I do." And so, got to present it to him for like a Christmas thing, and it was So just things like that just kind of fall out. And then, I got other fun things. I got this Marvel recreation cover. It's Venom and Spider-Man. I haven't looked at it yet because the whole internet thing has been off, but I can't wait to look at it later after I get off here. I'll check it out and be like, "Hey, I'm working on that." So
Cool. Well, bring it for next week.
yeah,
If you're allowed to.
Oh, and, yeah.
Mr. Jamie, same question.
Let's see. Acquiring commissions. I do get them at shows like Mustafa said. Generally, I work on them in the hotel. Sometimes if I know I'm not going to finish it, I'll let them know like, hey, this sounds like it's going to be more work than a few hours or whatever, or a night. So if I can ship it to you. But a lot of them come to me like through Instagram. I've had some come to the website, and they just like, hey, how much are your rates? I saw your post of such and such, and then they just send me a message. Pretty much. As far as like complications go, I tend to look for things that are a little more challenging, and I really should take that advice that you had there, Mustafa, about charging more, because Lord knows there's been some times where that definitely could have helped me out as far as motivation goes.
Well, yeah, and if they don't flinch, then you did the right thing. And if they say no, then you didn't want to do it anyway.
That's true. But
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this and you want to get a commission and find out if Mustafa really does want to do what you want him to do, feel free to DM me or him.
Okay, so I'll put it this way: like that bestseller thing, the Star Wars thing. It was originally like they wanted, that thing. They wanted like Boba Fett and Amidala, like some weird pairing, and I was like, okay, that's weird. What about Darth Vader? Oh no, they wanted Darth Vader and Amidala, and I was like, what about Boba Fett? Just keep with the theme. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good. And that I took less money for because I was like, hey, is it okay if I make prints afterward? And they're like, yeah. It was just an excuse to draw something fun,
Well, there's a good segue as well. Bob, let's come back to you. Do you often make suggestions in terms of improving the commission or engage in a little bit of a brainstorming, or do you let the customer drive the engine on that side?
You mean, do I say, well, how about Cannonball instead of Danny Moonstar?
Yes. I know they always say no, but do you try?
Yeah, I often suggest some changes if it's something that I don't think is going to work well visually or something I just don't want to draw. They've asked me for characters with really complicated costumes, and I say, how about Spider-Man in the black costume instead, or something, because I hate complicated costumes.
What about you, Mustafa?
Yeah, I remember sometimes they're like, "Hey, you can do any character in the Spider-Verse," and I'm like, "Oh, so I can just do like the black suit Spidey, right?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, I guess so." Or like even Spider-Man Noir, like it's a little bit of complication, but it's still just all black, or Spider-Gwen when she was kind of first kicking off, like they would draw her all with the hair flowing and all that, and like, yeah, but she also has a mask. I can just do that, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, I guess you could. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that then.
It's the guys that ask for Galactus that get me.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so tell me, why do artists hate Galactus?
He's got all these little gizmos and design things on him that take forever to do. I've just reached the point where I won't do Galactus anymore.
Oh, really? You just flat out say, no.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they offered me 10,000, I would do Galactus. But I really don't want to do Galactus.
The thing with Galactus is it's really easy to mess up, and it's really hard to make look amazing. There's so many amazing like Galactus art,
Yeah, there are some artists who do amazing with him. Jean Giraud did a great one. I saw another one by this guy. I think another European artist recently, just incredible. But he obviously spent 2 or 3 days on it, and just not my thing.
Right. But if someone has $10,000, please feel free to reach out to Bob McLeod through Messenger.
Yes, here I am.
All right.
We'll do a Kickstarter.
I'll even color it for that much.
There you go.
Here, I'll share.
Oh, there you go. How long did it take you to do that one?
It took, honestly, the masking off all the figures for the galaxy and stuff, that felt more tedious. I don't know, 12 hours, 15 hours.
Wow.
I don't think there's enough Galactus fans to make it worthwhile to have done, but it was a commission, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
you just wait until he shows up in the MCU.
Oh yeah, then but are they going to give him the top hat and the ear things? And
Oh,
all
they
of that?
better. They better make him the Pope.
They're going to give him the pink cloud like at the end of Rise.
No, that was horrible.
Yeah.
That was almost as bad as the ending the Blair Witch Project.
I don't know.
You've never seen Blair Witch?
Yeah, they're both pretty bad. I don't know.
Oh, Galactus was worse. It's a cloud. Who's scared of a cloud?
Yeah.
It's like they established the Silver Surfer as this big all-power being, and he keeps saying that somebody even more dangerous is coming, and you look up and it's like a rain cloud.
If you see his head and it's the size of like half of the Earth or something, where they just make him so scaled out, then maybe that could be cool. Like the Transformers. Whenever like Unicron at the beginning, you just see a hand reach down and like crash like Denver or something. I don't know.
There's a news for you. Unicron attacks Denver. Film at 11.
Yeah. Attacks the ocean, causes tsunamis. Then it could be cool.
Brings his big rubber ducky and has a bath in the Pacific.
Yeah, maybe not that.
Steve, the thing is, fans ask for like a headshot even of Galactus,
Yeah.
or they'll ask for a headshot of Spider-Man, and they want to pay the same price for those two headshots.
Right. Well, that's an interesting question. Like, do you get a lot of kickback when it comes to complexity? Or I find that fans are usually good natured.
Yeah, the
Jamie?
fans are usually great, sure.
I'm curious. I have a question. Have you ever done a commission for somebody and you can just see they flat out are not happy with it?
Oh boy.
If I have, they didn't tell me.
Yeah, I haven't really experienced that. I'm waiting for it to happen. I did the mistake one time at a show in Nashville where somebody did a pre-commission of the girl from Guardians of the Galaxy, and I drew like this sexy like nebula on an asteroid and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, that's great! I wanted Gamora." I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry," and they're like, "No, it's fine. I'll take it." I'm like, sorry." That was about as much as I got.
Yeah, I've done that before. I've drawn the wrong character by mistake. Yeah.
Who was it?
Oh, it was some golden age hero that I wasn't familiar with, and just he has different costumes, different looks, whatever. Maybe there's two characters with the same name. I don't remember, but he wasn't taking that commission.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be Danny Moonstar?
No. I did a commission one time for this guy. He wanted me to draw him in his bicycle racing costume on his bicycle. There's these guys that race bicycles and they have certain color costumes. And I didn't realize the costume had to be these certain colors. So I colored it different colors, and it's not what he wanted.
Right. How about you, Jamie? You ever turn right when you're supposed to go left?
There was a incident I had with this gentleman online a few months ago, and I was doing a logo for him, and he wanted something. He sent me this picture. He was like, "I want something just like this," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to draw just like that because I don't copy other people's artwork, you know." And I was like, "I'll make some adjustments, some tweaks, things like that to make it unique, but I'm not going to draw the exact same thing. I might as well just freaking photocopy it for that." But then I drew out this preliminary sketch and everything like that. I sent it to him, and he's like, "Yeah, this is awesome. This is what I like. This blah blah blah." The next day, he turns around and goes, "Well, you didn't draw anything I wanted," and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I checked with you right after I sent you the sketch. You said it was great. I asked you to proceed. You said yes. And so I just ended up giving his money back, and I was like, that's not going to work out. And that was
That's too
it.
bad.
Yeah.
How long did you spend on that thing?
Not long. Not
Okay.
long. Not long. It was just a sketch, really.
Yeah.
I'd done some ink on it, but not like full finished inks or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, not long.
So-
if anything, I just looked at it as this is a learning experience here, because there was some things my wife and I were talking afterwards about things that were said during the discussion with him and everything. It's like little red flags here and there. It's like, okay, now I know what to look for next time if something like this should pop up again.
You know what we forgot to do today, guys? We forgot to do our featured art prints. So we're going to walk through them, and we'll talk about each one. And since there's just the four of us, we're just going to do the four. We did get feedback that we had more people watch this after it was live. Good. We're more popular in repeats than we are live. So
We're the office.
Huh?
We're the office.
Yeah. The boss walks by. "What are you doing, Smith?" "Nothing." All right, so we're going to walk through this week's featured art prints. And if you're not able to join us live, you can feel free to DM us, and you will get the MBartist live discount. The first one is Jamie Coker's The Child. Mr. Coker, what's the story on this one?
Well, drew it around the time that the kid was gonna hit the show. I knew it was going to be a big thing based on the whole Baby Groot thing. Plus, I'm a big fan of Yoda. So I was like, I got to get this kid on paper. Got to get him, lay him down, and get it out there. Even after I drew it, I knew it wasn't right. So the whole thing came down with the Mandalorian necklace in the one episode, and I added that on, and I was like, okay, this is what I like this now. Interestingly enough, that was one of my top sellers this past weekend.
Really? How many?
Yes, it was. Oh,
Any
God,
idea off the top of your
I
head?
remember I kept pulling it out.
Well, that's
Just kept
awesome.
pulling it out. Yeah.
That's cool. So he's still got a little traction going.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
So if anybody is interested in The Mandalorian, The Child by Jamie Coker, please feel free to DM us or check it out at MBartist.com or JamieCokerCreations.com. Thanks, Jamie. And this is Series 1. These are all Series 1. Okay, next one. Mr. McLeod, you know this one. Are you sick
I've
of
heard
this
those
yet?
guys. Yeah.
The New Mutants Marvel graphic novel number 4. You know how hard it is to get this in high grade? Like the original
yeah.
book?
I do. Yep.
Like this is a in-demand book when it's in high grade.
I met a guy at a convention that had about 10 of those in perfect condition.
Did he ask you to sign them?
He did.
Very cool. And then you have a CGC witness with him?
Yep.
So I know you've told the story many times. You did the New Mutants graphic novel number 4 on your honeymoon.
Wow.
I worked on it during my honeymoon. I didn't do the entire thing on my honeymoon.
Wow.
Well, that would have been even. You probably wouldn't be married anymore, for one.
True. Yeah. It was behind schedule, no fault of my own, just from scheduling, changing it from a comic into a graphic novel. And they were going to give the inking away to another artist if I didn't do it right away. And I really didn't want them to give it away. So, I couldn't delay my marriage and I couldn't delay the book. So there we go.
And you had a guest inker on this, didn't you? A ghost inker.
On that? No, I did it all myself.
Yeah, you did. You told me you did.
Oh, my wife?
Yes.
Yeah, she filled in some blacks.
Uncredited.
Yeah.
So in terms of the cover, how many versions of the cover did you go through before you landed on this one?
That was my first shot. I've still got the original sketch that I did that I could show you, almost identical to that, just a quick sketch. I don't know, just first thing that came to my mind.
And originally it wasn't the New Mutants, was it?
We were just going to call them the Mutants. Well, we didn't really have a title. That was kind of the first idea was just to call them the Mutants. And for whatever reason, I think Chris and Louise, the editor, didn't really like that. One of the three of us came up with the New Mutants. I don't think it was me because I never really liked that title. So then we decided we'd go with that.
Cool. And if you're interested in purchasing this classic cover, you can visit MBartist.com or BobMcLeod.com or DM us. And the next one, hey, Mustafa.
Oh, it's that one.
Yeah, Spidey Fight.
That is my bestseller.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So what's the story on this one?
It was a commission, and it was like 2016, I think. It was a while back. It's got the date on there. The guy was like, I want, Spider-Man versus Venom versus Carnage. And I was like, okay, so they're all going to be fighting each other, right? And he's like, oh, yeah, I guess so. Because, I guess he wanted them teaming up on Spider-Man. I was like, no, they should all be fighting each other. And then I got with a friend of mine from high school who's a tremendous penciler, and he knocked it out for me, and that's amazing. And so it paid for my car. It's a great piece.
So we had this at the auction, and we had one of the audience make a comment that the characters are very much in the stylization of the Disney Infinity figures.
Oh.
Any idea if that was inspiration for this piece?
0% chance.
He
I
pulled up the
I
actual
remember Disney
Infinity, and it
but I
actually
wanna say it was
looked
like-
similar.
Yeah, because they're kind of top heavy. Yeah. No, that's funny though. I'll mention it to Pablo.
Yeah, but it's a very cool piece.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's one of my favorite things I've worked on as far as commissions go. Yeah, I like it.
And if you're interested in this piece, either DM us or check it out at MBartist.com or MustafaInc.com. So what we'll do, guys, is we're going to throw up all the artists' featured prints for today. If you could read it, there they are. There's all of our featured prints. Just feel free to DM us or just type in claim whatever. And the lovely Jamie, who is watching us remotely. Jamie, are you watching us? It'd be funny if she's not watching. So if you see any of the images there that you guys want to claim, feel free to just drop it in the comments or DM us. And like I said before, we do know you guys out there watch this after the fact. The specials will be available up until next week when we release a whole new set. There we
Steve,
go.
what is that? What is that one by Francine? Who is that character?
That's the professional,
Oh yeah,
Matilda.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah. So last week we were talking about dream jobs, and she said her dream job was to do a comic book of what happened to Matilda when she got older. This is her drawing of it.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's very nice. You should see it when it's 40 by 60. It's huge.
I can imagine. Yeah.
What's Joe's image?
Joe, where is Joe? Oh,
It's like a
that's
ballet.
Degas Ballerina.
Yeah.
I wish he was here to tell the story. So the story on that one is Joe will always stay for an extra day at a con. So on Mondays he'll go to the museum, and he was saying that he was shocked how many times he would see the Degas Ballerina following him in museums around North America. So he just decided one day that he was going to sit down and do some sketches. So this is a culmination of his sketches from multiple museums of the same statue. In the original, I have the original here. It's really quite cool. If anybody's interested in the original, feel free to reach out. It's a beautiful piece. Here's the thing about Joe. Everybody knows about his inking. Nobody knows about his painting. And his painting is phenomenal. Like, it's phenomenal. Like, I keep pushing him to paint. I don't know if you've seen his, anytime he does a featured piece with us, it's always one of his paintings. Like,
I've been
the
pushing him to do more paintings for decades now.
Yeah.
There are people that know that he's a painter. There's a lot of people, but not so much, on par with his comics work. He's so popular for his inking, but he's getting pretty well known as a painter as well.
That's good. Like, I've been pushing it like all the time. Like, if he asks, he'll say, Steven, what do you want me to do this month? Joe, he's pretty easygoing, mostly. His ears must be burning. But I'll say, give me a painting. And he'll be like, oh, I did this one, and I did this one, and I'll do that. Like, he's very prolific.
He really is. Yeah, he works all the time.
Yeah. Like, it's funny. I'll be talking to Lisa, his assistant, and he'll walk in and go, here's another one. And I'll walk off and start the next one.
Yeah, he's very fast too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He ever tell you the story? Like, even when Joe's not here, he's taking up the conversation. What's going on here? He ever tell you the story about how someone cornered him after a show at the airport? And he was like, oh, I want a commission. and he threw out $200. He says, "I'll give you $200. Just give me a commission." And the person he was with at the time said, "All right, time me," and he had it done in 7 minutes.
Ooh. Was it a Wolverine?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably a recreation of the number one. He says he can do that in his sleep.
Yeah.
So that's a good question. Images or characters you can do in your sleep. Mustafa.
Batman, Deadpool, Joker. I can draw them without looking down at the paper, probably.
Jamie.
I'm sure my wife would say Venom and Carnage.
Bob. We know the answer.
Oh,
Well, obviously Danny Moonstar, but also Spider-Man, Wolverine, Batman. I mean, so many that I've done over and over and over and over.
Is there one character you wish you could do that no one has ever asked you to do?
Not a superhero. I'd like to do Lieutenant Blueberry.
Lieutenant
You know who that
Blueberry?
is? You know who that is?
No. Educate us, sir.
There's a French comic series by Jean Giraud about the American West, and his main character is Lieutenant Blueberry.
Really?
huh.
It's big. It's big. It's huge. I can't believe none of you guys have heard of it.
I completely missed it.
Yeah, look it up. It's amazing stuff.
Lieutenant Blueberry.
Yeah.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if you want a commission by Bob McLeod that he'll do for next to nothing, ask for Lieutenant Blueberry. Is it like a comic strip or
It's a series of graphic novels. We call them graphic novels. They call them albums. Yeah, it's done in a comic style.
Oh, it looks great.
About just
okay.
cowboys in the West. He's in the army, or was in the army. I think most of the stories he's out of the army. And he's based on Jean-Paul Belmondo, the actor. So he's got this kind of broken nose and, kind of always a stubble beard.
do you think you can find an image and share it with us? Because I'm very curious now. I can see Jamie and Mustafa are scrambling on Google looking at it.
Mobius doing like cowboy stuff. It's awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah, let me take a second. I'll get one.
All right, as Bob's looking it up, how about you, Mustafa? What character do you wish someone would ask you to do? Or even if it was like Marvel or DC and said, "Hey, would you do
So
anything?"
So I'm pretty neutral on that stuff. It's more about what I think people would like to see. So, like Batman's my favorite character, but I've done a ton of Batman, so I don't need that requested. But like say Ghost Rider, I don't have a Ghost Rider, like a great Ghost Rider image, so I'd like to get a request for that. Or if maybe Green Lantern I've never done. I have like one little bust of him, and that's about it. These aren't characters that I really love necessarily. These are just things that would fill out my, catalog, I guess, is how I'm looking at it.
How about you, Jamie?
Yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I guess it's not. I guess it's not a particular character. I guess I would say I just look for stuff that like there's a challenge. Like you guys were talking about Galactus earlier. I'm back in my head right now. I'm thinking that's something you need to draw. Try drawing Galactus. So that's where my brain goes.
10 times, Jamie.
Oh, man.
I did see a cool Galactus where he had like the Death Star in his hand. That was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Are you ready, Steve?
Yep. Lieutenant Blueberry, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you see him?
Not
Oh,
yet.
can you bring it up, Regan? The blueberry? There we go. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Wow. And you said this is French?
that's Mobius.
Yeah, I believe Giraud lived in France rather than Belgium. You know, there's a whole industry of Belgian comics, the school of Belgian comic art.
I love this style.
Yeah, he mixes pen and brush, but he uses a lot of brush.
Very cool. Very cool. So there's some ideas, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to reach out to one of these fine gentlemen for a commission of what really would turn their crank and what they want to do, yeah, that's cool. Very cool. So we did a lot of talk about commissions. Let's run it through one more time. Let's go through the art prints. Can we pop them up real quick, there, Regan? Let's walk through the whole gambit, even of the artists who aren't able there. We got, I'm looking at the list here. We got Mustafa Musa's Spidey fight. We got James C. Mulligan's Audrey Hepburn, Breakfast at Waltz. We got My Card Captors. We got John Hebert's Punisher. Love that piece.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, eh?
I used
You know,
to read it.
he had that in black and white. And when I first met him, like none of his stuff was colored. So when I started coloring him, it just pops right off the page. Like, he is the most humblest guy in the world, and he just needs a little confidence, and he'll just take off. All right, we've got The Professional from Francine Delgado. Francine, if you're still out there, get better. We've got The Child by Jamie Coker. A little unknown book called The New Mutants by Bob McLeod. We got Joe Rubinstein's Degas Ballerina. And then finally, we've got Chad Hardin's classic Harley Quinn. Here's a question. Okay, you can take them down if you want, Regan. Here's a question for you, guys. I got, so we did a feature on Chad Hardin's Harley Quinn. And one of the comments was like, Harley Quinn is overplayed. When do you know when a character has been overexposed? Mustafa?
It's really up to the individual. Like, there's stuff that won't have staying power. Like in 2014, Spider-Gwen was everywhere, and now occasionally people might be like, "Oh, cool, Spider-Gwen." So I don't think necessarily she was overplayed. I think she just was played. She ran her course. And then there's characters like Harley Quinn that, like I said, they're evergreen. They will always have an audience. Deadpool will always have an audience. Batman will always have an audience. So people can think like they're overplayed, but they're probably wrong.
How about you, Mr. McLeod?
I mean, I think it depends on what they're doing with him in the comics. If they kept Spider-Gwen doing amazing stuff and teaming her up with different characters, maybe she'd, be more of an evergreen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the comics have a huge influence on the popularity of the characters. Who's writing them, what they're doing with them. So it just depends, how current they stay or if they kind of fade away.
Mr. Coker?
I would say a lot of it comes down to how it captures people's imagination, but also whether the mainstream media picks up on it. Because there's been some characters that I thought were going to be more popular maybe, and because it never really picked up that steam, the stories didn't pan out, they just kind of faded away, or they were like pushed to the back a little bit more, and they never really hit the spotlight the way I thought they were going to. It's kind of sad, but that's the reality of the situation. Like a character like Harley Quinn, her book is she had the uber popular Batman animated series to play off of. You also had her in the comics, and then from there, I mean, she just took off.
Video
because,
games.
like, yeah, video games. Like
Mhm.
she was like everywhere, and it's just because like I think she captured a niche too that people wanted. You know, like you wanted people like the Joker's a super popular character, but you know, girls wanted their own villain to kind of latch onto. And here comes Harley Quinn. She's fun. She's boisterous. She's crazy. She's you know she's like oh I like how clever she is, but she's also clumsy and in love with a supervillain. I mean, there's just so many facets to her that you know you can easily latch onto. So it's real easy to see how she became so popular, whereas some of the characters that I really wish had been given a second chance probably never going to get it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a comment. Saved by Steven is back. Good to see you again, my friend. Beautiful artwork by all of you. Love these live streams and would like to make a claim for New Mutants and Spidey fight. All right, Steven, if you could do me a favor. Jamie, if you're watching, reach out to Steven and just give him the option of which he would like to claim, and we'll take care of you. Thank you very much. There you go, Mustafa and Bob. Saved by Steven has claimed both of your featured art prints for
Is
today.
it Steven or Stefan? I want
I
to.
think it's,
Well, let's ask him. Save with Steven. Is it Steven or Stefan? We want to make sure to
I give my
pay
name a
proper
pronounce, I don't
homage
want
to
it
your
to-
name. But Jamie, if you can take care of Steven or Stefan, and we will definitely make sure we get some beautiful art to you. Regan, can you do me a favor and just send a quick text to Jamie? Make sure she's watching. Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you. So let's do a little bit of crossfire here. Now, I've been driving the bus, asking some questions. Let's pass it over to you, Mustafa. Is there any questions you wanted to ask?
Actually,
Go ahead.
that Bob McLeod, the cover that you showed earlier, the zombie cowboy, or I don't know what it was, but
yeah.
Did you ever ink it yourself, or did you have it like inked by somebody else?
They colored it right direct from the pencils. They didn't want me to ink it. I think they were thinking as a Western zombie, it might just add a little texture to it to stay in pencil.
How do you feel about that, going from pencil straight to color?
I mean, I think inks always enhance the art,
Yeah.
or at least 99% of the time. So I would have preferred to ink it. I would have had a good time inking it, but I
It
basically
looked great.
inked it in pencil.
Yeah. No, it looked great. It did. I mean, it looked ready to, if anybody inked it, it looked like it was pretty ready. But yeah, no, it looked great. I was wondering if you had like an inked version of it or anything.
No, they actually did 2 different versions of coloring for it. Neither of which I really liked. And I actually adjusted their coloring and explained why I would rather see it the way I adjusted it. But I guess because they had the colorist on staff, they went ahead and used their colorist.
Yeah.
And I just heard back from Save with Stefan, and is indeed not Steven, but Stefan.
Thank you, Stefan.
Thank you, Stefan.
thanks.
Thank you, Mustafa. You pointed that out for me.
Well, again, I get my name mispronounced pretty much my whole life, so I want to make sure to pronounce people's names right.
And that's a great question to Bob. Actually, Bob's Series 2 exclusive was a pencil, which was his Incredible Hulk Spidey Scramble. He went directly from his pencils to color. And you said that there was a reason why you wanted to keep it in pencil. Do you remember that, Bob?
Yeah, I put so much. It was a pencil commission. They commissioned me to do it in pencil, and I put so much work into pencils. I was just burned out on it and didn't want to ink it.
So if you ever have something that you're burned out on and don't want to ink, and you want to send a file my way, I would love to work on something of yours.
I could send you something. Yeah, I'll think about that and send you something.
Sure. I've loved your stuff for a long time.
Oh, thanks very much. Thanks. Well, have you ever Do you ever do penciling of your own or coloring of your own, or are you just mainly focusing on inks?
I focus on inks primarily. I do pencils, but the thing is, like, I know how ephemeral pencils are, that I just don't spend a long time on pencils. So the layouts, I'll just kind of figure out in a few minutes, and then I just kind of do the detail in ink, and that's fine for like commissions or for like little fun projects of my own. But when it comes to like working for big publishers, they typically don't want to work that way unless you're like Todd McFarlane or something. So I just kind of focused on inks, really.
Yeah, because I know I myself started out as an inker mainly, and it's really hard to do decent inking if you also don't know how to draw. So I was just curious.
That's true. Yeah, you can really separate the good from the great when it comes to that particular thing.
Yeah,
Jamie,
so
you
I'm
got any
always
questions?
interested, when people are known solely as inkers, what their pencils might be like.
Right. I don't have it up, but I have a few examples. My pencils, I'll spend maybe 5 minutes on the pencils, and then I'm basically doing the artwork in ink, like the details and stuff. I kind of get the general idea down in pencil, and then I don't know, drawing it twice is kind of off. It's hard for me to do, So, but I get that, yeah.
Mr.
Yeah,
Coker, any
always-
questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh boy, none that come to mind. I was here to ask questions.
Well, I got to,
interview questions
Mustafa,
put together.
leveraging off what you talked about how you hate doing it twice.
Yeah.
Do you find that by jumping right into the inks, do you have a tendency to tighten up on the detail?
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. The pencils are really just for getting the basic idea down.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if I were to do tight pencils, then I probably wouldn't want to do inks. I'd want to have somebody else do it. But layouts are fine. Inks I'm fine with. Pencils I'm fine with. But doing all three, I'd rather work with somebody else. I'd rather have that collaborative process. Like, the idea of bringing the best out of somebody else, like, elevates me. I want to bring the best out of me, bring the best out of them, make this, two artists into this third artist that's better than, what they started with, that kind of thing.
Well, let's talk about process for a second, because as my background being animation, we always taught that when you put in a basic pose, you should push the pose. Like, you should never just rest on, here's what I want. You should always analyze it on terms of, from a director point of view, how can I push the pose to get the maximum effective image? Do you guys, like, your backgrounds aren't really animation, do you guys have that same type of attitude, or how do you go back maximizing the image? Okay.
Jamie?
All right, I went down a rabbit hole nobody cared about. All right, let's back up. Francine saved my bacon. Thank you, Francine. I wanted to know from the golden age of comics, what cover would you like to recreate the most? Ooh, very thematic. Thank you,
I
Francine.
just did one. I did that Frazetta recreation.
That was awesome. Should I share it? I wonder, can I share it?
Absolutely.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a premiere. How did I? Oh, share. There we go.
On your laptop?
Yeah.
That one's not live. It have to be from this one. Or unless I put you live.
No, just, I know it. Just give me a second. Somebody ask a question. I got to find it.
Well, Jamie, what about you? Do you have one you want to do? You have a Golden Age
gosh.
cover you'd like to do?
Oh, there's a pretty long list. I don't know. I mean, I get. Oh,
There you go.
it's weird. I feel like I would give the wrong answer if that didn't make sense. Ooh, look at that cover.
Isn't that sick? So, Bob, remember when we talked about this? The original Frazetta, we were like, oh, that'd be so sacrilege to try to overly reimagine a Frazetta. But the conversation we had was being able to get more in on the action. And I think you reimagined it beautifully while still maintaining the homage of the original piece. Can you walk us through this piece?
Yeah, I mean, I've always, I don't know what it is about, about this cover, but it's really striking. And in Frazetta's version, the figures in the spaceship are smaller. They take up less of the image, and it's amazing. And it's of course, Frazetta is very powerful and dynamic. And when you were talking to me about it, you suggested, well, why don't you just try to find a more dynamic angle and everything? I said, more dynamic than Frazetta? Really? I don't think so. And I, thought about it, and I mean, he picked the best way to show it. So when I decided to do it, I just thought about, well, what do I like about this? And it wasn't so much the planet and the space; it was the figures in the spaceship. So I just made them much larger, basically as large as I could get them on there. And then I was going to do it in my style instead of Frazetta's style. And the more I thought about it and the more I started that, it just, it was too much fun to try to do it more like Frazetta.
It's beautiful. Like, and I don't know if you did it on purpose, but there's a little bit of a Dutch tilt there.
What is that?
You don't know a Dutch tilt? In
that a camera
film, whenever they tilt the camera, so usually when something is amiss or a villainous action is about to occur, they do what's called a tilt. It's called the Dutch tilt. So you see a lot in the 66 Batman.
Yeah, the Batman TV show.
Yeah. They actually have a word for it. But I don't know if you meant to do that here, but if you look at the original Frazetta, it's a lot more linear, where yours has a subtle tilt.
I might have done that to get the spaceship on there horizontally and have it fit in better. I cut the wings off as it is, and I didn't want to cut the front and back of the ship off, so I might have tilted it a little bit to make it work better.
Yeah, it looks great. Like it just it lends itself to a subtle dynamic that wasn't in the original.
And it was your idea to put his head in front of the title, and that works really well.
Yeah, and I love how you had the white banner in the back actually flood around the piece. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I enjoy coloring too. So I had a good time coloring it.
Yeah. So this, I can announce that we're going to be teeing up the Famous Funny lineup for May release as part of the Star Wars month. May the 4th be with you. I think it only works because one of the inspirations for Star Wars was the old school Buck Rogers. Mm-hmm. All right. How about you, Jamie? Oh, go ahead, Mustafa.
I was going to say I have one as far as like just a famous cover recreation.
Okay, pop it up.
No, I don't know. Just in my head, like what I'd like to do.
Okay, what would you like to do?
It'd be Captain America punching Hitler.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I would love to redo that, like now more than ever. I would love to do it.
But would you change Hitler's Trump?
No. Keep it Hitler. Keep it Captain America. Keep it 1940s. Just, updated.
Okay, I smell an exclusive for April.
Yeah, if Marvel's okay with it, I don't know. I mean,
oh, they're watching.
Yeah,
they know what we're doing.
I mean, talking about Golden Age classic covers, like people have redone Detective 27. They've redone Action Comics #1. I don't know if I've really seen a lot of like Captain America, redone like that.
No, not the original run, the Joe Johnson. Jamie.
Probably Batman #1.
Yeah,
Batman and Robin flying through the sky on the grapnels or whatever, soaring through the city. That'd probably be the one. I mean, as much as I hesitate drawing Batman anytime, that'd probably be the one.
Bob, one day I would love to see you do your version of X-Men 94.
Okay.
I don't know. The reason why, Mustafa, Jamie, did you know that Bob did the inks for the interiors?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Who was the penciler?
Dave Cockrum.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bob, tell the story of doing the inks on X-Men 94.
I mean, I had only been in the business a year at that point. I started out as a humor artist, and I had to learn how to do dramatic inking and penciling. You know, you guys know there's so much to learn that I hadn't been studying or trying as a young guy until I got in the business, really, because I was going to do humor for my career, and it's kind of took a left turn into comics, and so they gave me that job, I think, because every other inker in the business must have been busy that month. I don't know why they gave me that job. I mean, at that time in '75, there were only a handful of inkers that kind of worked in Dave Cockrum's style. There was like Tom Palmer, Joe Rubenstein, and even Joe Rubenstein might have just done one job at that point. I think he started inking in '75. So he wasn't really on the scene. And then, I mean, there were just very few people in that style. So I guess maybe that's why they gave it to me. But I really was still developing my ink style, my anatomy, my getting better control of the pen and the brush. And I'm not at all happy with that job, and Dave wasn't happy with that job.
Oh no.
And so he got a different inker for the next issue.
Oh.
And over time, it's a landmark book.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe one day I'll convince you.
I'm just lucky that I was able to work on it. You know, of course, I'd like to go back and re-ink it, but God, that was a long time ago.
If I can throw my hat in the ring, I always wanted to do a reimagination of an Action Comics Superman, like with the old school S, but I would do it in the Fleischer motif, like the old school animation. I love Fleischer.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
Okay, I got to find time.
What else have you got to do?
Let's see. I gotta sell lots of art. Is there anything else to do other than that?
No, that's enough. Keep it.
Actually, focus on that.
Sell lots of art. And I think I just froze.
Yeah, focus on that.
I can share with you, I did have a really cool conversation with the guys at Fan Expo yesterday. Oh, I think I'm having some technical issues. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, cool. We had a really cool conversation with the boys from Fan Expo yesterday, not only about the shows and how they might potentially come back this year, but they've done a lot of inroad building in terms of offline campaigns. And there's some opportunities there that hopefully we'll be able to explore more, and I'll be able to share with you guys as well. Very exciting stuff. Anyways, thanks for that question, Francine. That was awesome. Mustafa, did you, I don't think you told us what Golden Age book you'd like to do.
Yeah, it had involved Hitler and Captain America.
Oh, that's right, Cap. You're Cap. Yeah. So, Jamie, Mustafa and Bob had a little back and forth about inking and pencils and all that type of stuff. Do you have any questions? You want to take the wheel a little bit?
Oh boy, I wasn't prepared to ask questions. I don't have my brother Walter's hat on. No, I guess one thing.
How about upcoming shows, Jamie?
Upcoming shows.
Yeah, upcoming appearances you may be doing.
Oh boy. I'm still working on some of them. Like next month, I think I only have maybe one, if I remember correctly.
All right,
Most
there's
of the
one in
anything.
Grand Rapids. Are you gonna be doing that one?
I thought about that one, but I think I have a conflict.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what other show I'm doing now, but
I
think I
got
have a
friends
conflict
going
with
to it.
that.
I was wondering if you were gonna be there.
Well, I do know one show that we're hopefully going to have everybody at, and that's UltraCon. Last weekend of August, MBartist, if the border is open, and everybody, all the creators, we're just waiting for a final sign off from Bob, Joe, and Chad. Will be in West Palm Beach the last weekend of August for UltraCon.
I
So
thought
we're
I
hoping
gave you
everybody.
I thought I
Huh?
gave you the go ahead on that, Steve.
Did you?
If I didn't, I'm doing it now.
Irving, if you're listening, and we hope you are, we got 7 out of 9. We're down to the final 2. Bob, feel free to help me do peer pressure next week on Chad and Joe. It's going to be fun.
All right.
And the Golden Age tribute that we're going to be revealing there, I think it's safe I can say it. Wiz Comics. So that's going to be the Golden Age tribute that we're going to tee up and tackle as an exclusive for UltraCon. Any thoughts on that one, Jamie? You know who Wiz Comics is.
Oh yeah, Captain Marvel, right?
That's right. That's right. Bob,
Oh, yeah.
did you ever do any Captain Marvel back when it was Wiz?
No, I'm not that old.
Yeah, but you shocked the hell out of me when you told me you worked on Phantom Lady.
Yeah, I wonder how long after Phantom Lady Comics I did that.
Well, according to you on the timeline, it would be after Volume 2. And Volume 2 had a very young, what was his name? Joe. Who's the Flash artist? Flash artist's name. Famous Flash artist. Joe.
Oh,
Someone text it. Drop it in the comics.
What era?
Silver Age. Joe. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Giella?
Famous father. His son, Andy and Adam
Oh, Joe Kubert.
Kubrick.
Okay.
I didn't know he worked on Flash.
I didn't either.
No?
Nah.
No, did you know that
Sergeant Rock, you know.
he was
Are you
12 years
sure he did
old
Flash?
working on Phantom Lady Volume 2?
Steve, you sure Kubert did Flash?
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
I don't remember him on Flash.
Joe. It was Silver Age.
You talking about Joe Giella?
Nope.
yeah.
Yeah, that would probably
I
be
think
it.
That he's bronze, isn't he?
No.
No. Okay, if you know who was the artist that did Flash in the Silver Age and was a 12-year-old artist on Volume 2 of The Phantom Lady, drop it in the comments.
Well,
And if you're correct, I'll send you a free print.
Carmine Infantino used to draw the Flash.
Yeah, Infantino. And he also did Batman. No, it was before Infantino. Was it? Yeah, it was before Infantino.
I don't know.
Yeah. Wow, I just went in another rabbit hole going nowhere. All right. Jamie, do you think of a question yet? No. All right, let's do a reset. This worked last time. Regan,
Joe
can you
Kubert
bring
was
up the
the
images
inker
again.
for
Let's
Carmine.
rock it. Joe West. Thank you, Richard. Joe West.
I don't know, Joe West.
No,
I don't know him.
that's Richard. Richard Hildred drops in Joe West.
Yeah, I never heard of him.
So Joe Kubert inked Carmine Infantino. So maybe that's what you got.
Maybe.
On the Flash?
Yeah. I'm looking it up here.
Yeah. Look up
then we can move on.
Volume 2 of The Phantom Lady. He was 12. Anyways, I just thought it was cool they had a 12-year-old doing the Phantom Lady.
I mean, Jim Shooter, man. Jim Shooter, 14, 15, writing comics.
Yeah, but Phantom Lady was known for being the pinup girl. But he took over after Rick Baker, after they had all those Congress sessions going on. So it was after the birth of the Comic Code Authority. So, anyways, that's a ramble session going nowhere. Let's walk through the art prints one more time. We've got Spidey Fight by Mustafa. We've got Audrey Hepburn by James C. Mulligan. We got My Card Captors, or Card Captor Sakura. John Hebert with The Punisher. Francine Delgado with The Professional. Matilda the Professional. Jamie Coker's. Francine just dropped in a note. Child labor laws were not implemented.
That's actually, yeah, that's true.
We got Jamie Coker's The Child, Bob McLeod's New Mutants cover. We've got Joe Rubinstein's Degas Ballerina. And finally, Old School Classic Harley Quinn by Chad Hardin. Those are our feature art prints. Feel free to drop in, claim into the comments, and we will take care of you. And we do understand that a lot of you will be watching this after we're live, so feel free, just DM myself or the lovely Jamie, and we will take care of you. Absolutely. We want to make sure you get you some of this beautiful art in your hands. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Regan. Make that disappear. So now after this, I'm going to have to go back and find out who the hell I was talking about. Speaking of being 12 and working on comic books, Bob, you were a teenager, weren't you?
Probably.
Do you remember?
Working in comics?
Yeah, when you first
When I was
started.
a teenager, I was reading Mad Magazine and drawing my own little Mad Magazine type 1 or 2 page comics with myself as the main character. That's about all I was. Oh, I did some cartoon signs when I was working at the grocery store as a teenager for the all of the vegetables and stuff around the store. I would do little cartoons.
Actually, you posted something I thought was very cool. You had a Marvel, an official Marvel card signed by Stan Lee.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
What's that all about?
Probably signed by his secretary or someone in the office instead of Stan. It doesn't really look that much like Stan's signature, but supposedly Stan.
Did that get you in the office or something? You need to flash that baby around?
You know, I think they just gave it to me as kind of a token thing for working there. That was in 1974, and I don't even remember getting it. I just know, I've got it here, so I know I have it. But I just shoved it in a drawer back in 74.
Wow. Did it stay closed until recently?
I think so, yeah.
Now, those back in the days when they had the bullpit, did you work actually in the New York bullpit?
Bullpen.
Bullpen.
Yes, I did. I was in the bullpen right next to John Romita and Frank Giacoia and Mike Esposito, and the 2 main letterers that did all the titles for the comics, Danny Crespi and Maury Kuramoto. And Stan was right down the hall. Marie Severin was there. It was a great place to work. Nice, friendly little office.
So that's a cool thing to talk about. The difference between, because I remember back in the day when I was working in animation studios, we called it the pit. That's probably why I got it all mixed up. But I was like amongst some of the greatest Disney animators. And I was just a young buck just cutting my teeth. The difference between working amongst a bunch of artists and being a freelance and just basically rolling out of bed to your table. Benefits and strengths and benefits. Bob.
Well, I mean, working in production, I was able to show my samples to all the editors. I was able to just be in the Marvel office and The editors were there all the time, so I got to know what they were interested in, what they liked, why they liked what they liked. I could look at all the artwork coming through the office by all the best artists in the business, and study them and make Xeroxes of them and take them home to study. And it was just an amazing way to start my career. It was really, really helpful.
Mustafa, did you have the benefit of working in a studio at all?
I did start as a teenager. I have it down to within a year or two. I don't remember if I was 18 or 19. That's when I started. But I always knew about just working from a little studio that you set up at the house. So that's how I did it. And then you guys remember CrossGen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was offered a job at CrossGen at like 22 or 23. And it was working with guys that I really wanted to work with, that I've been fan of since I was a kid. But it was a studio environment, and they wanted you to come in from 9 to 5. I like working at night. I like working whenever I want. I'll work 12 or 16 hours a day if there's deadlines, but on my time. So the thought of like going into an office from 9 to 5 was a little daunting. Oh, hey.
Eureka!
There he
We
is.
found another artist.
Hey, John.
Another artist? Where? Who? Who came in?
Mr. Johnny Bear, ladies and gentlemen, fashionably late. You're here just in time for the third act, John.
Oh, good.
We were about to reveal who done it.
It was me. I admit it. It was me with Professor Plum in the laboratory with the lead pipe
We
and
were
the
just,
saxophone.
we were just talking about working in the bullpen. Mustafa was talking about how he'd rather spend the 15 to 20 hours working on his own. Mustafa, did you want to finish that thought?
Oh, just that I feel like there is definitely a value to working alongside other artists, because I have done it at Comic-Cons or at hotels after the show. And it really does get your kind of creative juices flowing, where you're just working alongside a lot of talented guys, and everybody's bringing out the best in each other, and it's a lot of fun. But I do like kind of setting my own hours, so I can do that at home and not at a studio.
So let's tee up Mr. Johnny Bear. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Bear, Marvel artist, best known for Punisher and X-Men Adventures. And your featured print this week, and we've had a couple of them go, Mr. Johnny Bear, is your Punisher piece. So I was telling the other crew here how this was always in black and white until I came along. Broke out my
Right.
Crayolas. What's your story on this piece?
It was actually a commission for a guy I did shows for in New Jersey. And he said, I love bringing you in. I always put you up in a nice hotel room. And he does. He always takes good care of me. He said, I really love a Punisher with some guns and stuff, and maybe the skull emblem. I said, you know what? You've been great to me. Sure, I'll do it. But then, as always, being the whore I am, I always keep copies to sell. And Steve saw it and liked it, and voila, there it is.
And I see you've brought a sidekick with you today.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, hi, Jack. How are you? Say hi, Jack. It's not on an airline. Yeah, there he is. Say hi, Jack.
Hey, Jack, how you doing?
That's my manager. He's up here tormenting the cat, so that's good.
Yeah, so everybody, when we got this colored, this one was colored by, oh, geez, I can't remember who colored. Do you remember who colored this? I got to give credit where credit's due.
Really nice piece, though. We didn't have any changes on that thing at all. No edits at all. Colored it, and it was like, this is awesome.
This is Jesse Hagee.
Oh,
This is
Jesse.
a Jesse Hagee coloring. So when we first got this back from Jesse, our content team was doing the 40 by 60 version of it, and when we got the proof in, it was just awesome.
Yeah.
I think we sent you one, didn't we? A nice big
And
one.
I actually had it up in my office for one night only. The state frowns on stuff like that, but I went in one night and took it with me. And it was the one that you had made for me for conventions, and I put that up, and it was really great. 7:30, quarter to 8 in the morning, the day shift starts to wander in and walking through the office. Jesus, what is that? The things you do when you work for the state in the middle of the night. But yeah, it's an awesome piece. I'm really very proud of that.
It's a beautiful piece. And this is our featured art print for John Hebert this week. It'll be available this week. So if you're not watching this live and you want to get your hands on this baby, feel free to DM us for the pricing, for the discount pricing below, or check it out on MBartist.com and JohnHebertArt.com.
Just one other thing I wanted to mention. You were talking about working in a bullpen scenario or among other artists at conventions and stuff. When I was in art school, I like to work on my own hours. I was always a middle of the night guy when the house was quiet and dead and it was just me and a radio, DVD player, videotape, whatever, and the cat. Not this one that's long gone, but I always enjoyed that so I could set my own hours also, as Mustafa said. But when I was in art school and there were a bunch of us at drawing boards, I really learned a lot from that. That was a great experience also because you had all these creative people all around you and there were always ideas flying. And I used to compare it to the OR on MASH because you would have all this words flying back and forth and ideas and, hey, this perspective, what's this? Oh yeah, no, here's what you do. And it was great. And you learned as much from the other students and your contemporaries as you did from the instructor. And it's funny, even now in my office, which is non-art related, we have the same thing when we're working on fingerprints. There are ideas flying in the air and, hey, what do you think of this? Can you take a look at this? What should I do in this situation? You learn a lot from that. You learn as much from your contemporaries as from your superiors.
So let's segue over to Jamie because his backstory is way different. He is self-taught. Jamie, give us a little bit of history here in terms of how you cut your teeth and building your art skills.
Oh boy. I was a pretty quiet kid. I was really observational. I was the kind of kid that people would look at and be like, something wrong with that boy. But I just really took note of the things around me. And I definitely liked cartoons and TV commercials in the 80s and things like that. And all that stuff just really spoke to me. And I would try and replicate the things that I saw. Like even toys spoke to me. And so some of my earliest memories were I drew this Starship Enterprise when I was like 4 or 5 years old or something. And my mom told me that she knew I was artistic because I used to smash bananas into the wall. Like I was trying to create a masterpiece or something. And then I used to create like play sets for my toys because we didn't have a whole lot of money. So I'd like take cereal boxes, turn them inside out, draw on them, and make them into like play sets for toys and things like that. And I don't know, that was kind of the start of it. And my sister, it was just my sister and I, as far as like, playmates. And so I would make like little play sets for her Barbie dolls and all this other junk. But anyway, elementary school, I decided I'm going to make my own comic book. So I put that all together. It was on blue copy paper. I stapled it together. I passed it around and then it got stolen. So then I was like, well, I guess that means that, this is maybe a thing. Maybe I should keep going with this. And over the years, I just kept drawing and just kept doing all these things. And then middle school, or sixth grade, I think, I discovered comics. I had a friend, Kyle, who brought comics to school in his backpack, which was probably the biggest mistake ever because I'm pretty sure some of those suckers disappeared. Anyway, I borrowed some of those comics from him, took them home, and man, I just fell in love. Like X-Men versus the Fantastic Four, and some other ones too, like a lot of Marvel. I was not a big DC fan back then. I've never liked Superman, but I appreciated the artwork. I would look at the artwork of people like Jim Lee, Barry Windsor Smith, Arthur Adams, just loads of names who just like, I could not believe that these guys could put on paper these amazing images. They just blew my mind. I mean, I never tried to trace it. I always just tried to look at it and replicate it. But man, it changed my life. And um, man, things happen, and I kind of got out of drawing for a while, but I rediscovered the passion for it a few years ago, and I just started drawing full force again. And I just decided, there comes a point where you just have to follow your passion rather than allowing things to happen to you, make things happen for you. So I just decided, hey, let's do this art thing, man. I mean, my brother used to encourage me all the time to follow my art, and I just decided maybe it's finally time to take him up on that. So that's where it came from. Just a whole lot of eccentric child to weirder adult.
So let's shift gears. So as you guys know, we're part of the Collector's Toy Shop, and we're all going to be at UltraCon the last weekend of August. Let's go back to your childhood. John Hebert, tell me, what was your favorite cartoon growing up?
The 60s Batman thing with Olan Soul as Batman, the guy from Andy Griffith, or Scooby-Doo. I loved Scooby-Doo. Those first couple of years were genuinely scary for a little kid before they really got slipshod with the Scooby-Doo movies and all that. Of course, I loved that with Batman and Robin and the Stooges and the Addams Family and stuff. But boy, looking back, were those slipshod. Although they did have some in-jokes. I never got the fact that when Don Knotts was on, they were actually parodying Andy Griffith. I never got that until years later. I'm like, oh my God. Jerry Reed and all that. They were better written probably than the others, but they were just horrible. But Scooby-Doo, I just thought was so atmospheric for a little kid.
And you would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those damn kids. Damn right. Mr. Mustafa.
Yeah. So let's see. My formative years were my 80s, so Transformers is where it starts, and then Ninja Turtles came around late 80s, and so that's what I drew. I didn't know about comic books, but I knew about Transformers and Ninja Turtles. I drew that all the time. Somebody handed me a comic book, and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. But before that, yeah, Transformers and Ninja Turtles.
Bob.
Do any of you guys remember Quick Draw McGraw?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Quickstraw, Mr. Quickstraw, Baba Louie.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. I had a little coloring book, Quick Draw McGraw.
Awesome. Jamie.
Oh my gosh, man. I was a G.I. Joe guy all the way. Loved G.I. Joe. Could not get enough of it.
Yeah.
I mean, between G.I. Joe and Master of the Universe. Yeah.
Have you convinced your wife to put the flag in the living room yet?
No. And it will never happen. Just so you know, Steven, that will never, ever, ever happen.
I'm telling you, one day I'm going to find one. I'm going to have it delivered to your house.
And my wife will be like, this was delivered here by accident. Go find the driver, run after him, whatever you need to do, and get it back.
That's how you test your relationship. Bob, if you ever had a chance, would you do a Quick Draw McGraw poster?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
How about you, John? Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, I did do a Wacky Races piece a couple years ago. I should have mentioned that too. That was so cool. Because of course I had to do Dick Dastardly's car because it was the Batmobile. Let's face it, it was, and the creepy coupe. I did it for a charity auction. You may have seen it, Steve. I have copies in the portfolio. That was such a blast. I would do something. I would definitely do something in a style like that. One of those things from my childhood. Scooby or Battle of the Planets or something like that. 'Cause that's another one I love too. I would love to. That was like a Burn X-Men comic every day in syndication. It really was.
Mustafa, have you ever gone back and watched old episodes?
Yeah, I think we talked about it. Like a lot of the Transformer stuff, I think it holds up well. Some of them are better than others. The animation was hand drawn, and it looks really nice. Some of them not so much. And Ninja Turtles I haven't watched, but I don't know if it's going to hold up so good.
So when I was a kid, I was big on the droid. Remember the Droids Ewoks Hour?
Oh yeah.
So I was big on the droids, and then later in life, I got to work at that studio, and my job was, they said, hey, we want to do a classics line, so I got to go back, and my job is I would have to watch every episode to do the art prints and the marketing for it, I go back and watch Droids. Just the theme song itself. How about you, Jamie? You go back and watch G.I. Joe and go, oh boy.
Oh my gosh! So early on, during the early stages of the lockdowns and everything like that, YouTube had streaming. Hasbro was streaming the Deke, the Sunbow GI Joe cartoon, and man, some of that stuff is just like, ugh. Some of it is the animation. I mean,
really
don't get me
corny.
wrong, I still appreciate it. Oh my God, like Cold Slither, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and Shipwreck was like the worst Jack Nicholson impersonation of all time. But I still.
That's exactly who I didn't even know who it was as a kid, and then that was Jack Nicholson.
Oh my God. How about you, Bob? You go back and watch Quick Draw McGraw?
No. I don't think I've rewatched any cartoon from my youth.
That's probably a good idea. That's the thing about nostalgia. It should probably stay there.
Well, there was the Flintstones and the Jetsons. I would probably still like the Flintstones.
Before or after they were doing smoking commercials.
Way back.
Hey, Barney, you want a Chesterfield?
And they would do the circle rings when they blow.
Yeah. Yogi Bear, I remember. That was pretty basic animation.
Oh yeah, Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
John, do you have that the piece that you were talking about with Dick Dastardly? Do you have that on your hard drive?
No, if I do. I don't believe so.
Why don't you dig it out for next week? Apparently we can share.
Had the creepy coop too. Actually, I might have it on my phone. If I do, I'll send it to you right now.
All right, sounds good. We'll tee it up for next week. All right, guys, we've got we're in the last 10 minutes, so let's do some rapid fire questions. Whipping around the horn here, John. We were talking about shows. Mustafa and Jamie started doing smaller shows again. Do you have any small shows in your horizon that you want to share?
Was that for? Was that?
That's for you, John.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. I don't.
Okay, if anybody has John scheduled to show up at their small convention, please let them know.
I'm not booked for a damn thing. I told you last week. I've been fired off everything good.
Mustafa, give us the dates for the shows coming up for you.
Oh, so let's see. So they're not all necessarily Comic-Cons. They're just appearances I'm doing. I'm doing a, what's it called? Like a comic book store signing up in the Dallas area on the 6th of March. And then I'll be going back up there for a sports card show, which those things are going crazy right now. I don't know if you've been watching those. But sometimes they have some money left over when they're not buying $50,000 like Pokemon cards, and I'm not even making a joke, man. There's like people in cash, big bricks of hundreds, selling like buying Michael Jordan rookie cards and stuff like that. So if they have any money left over, they can come and say hi to me. And then I'm doing a local show here in Houston, hopefully, at the end of March.
Jamie, what's coming up for you?
Let's see. Beginning of March, I have a show in Peoria, Illinois. It's a smaller one, and then after that, I'm still shopping for shows next month. Like I said earlier, I don't think shows are really gonna start up for me until probably end of April, May. Yeah.
And Bob, we already know that your next show, if we're lucky, is probably going to be the one in West Palm Beach at UltraCon, right?
At this point, that's all. The only thing on my schedule. I might be going someplace else a little earlier, but that's not confirmed.
Well, let's dream a little bit. If we could do one show. Oh, Francine's just chimed in. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. So Francine's not with us this week because she's a little under the weather. So Francine, get better soon, okay? And thanks for watching us. It's good to know you're here in spirit. So let's wrap up in this question, and then we'll do one more. Actually, let's walk through that one more time. Good idea, Regan. Regan, if you can take Francine down, we're going to go through. So here's one more time, guys, before we sign off. Here's our featured prints. These prints will be available with the discount until next Wednesday when we do our next show, when we got a new batch of featured art prints. But just to run them down one more time, we've got Spidey Fight by Mustafa. We've got Audrey Hepburn, Breakfast at Waltz by James C. Mulligan. We got My Card Captor Sakura. We've got John Hebert's The Punisher, Come Get Some. We got Francine Delgado's The Professional. We've got Jamie Coker's The Child, Do Not Call Me Grogu. We've got Bob McLeod's New Mutants classic cover. We've got Joe Rubinstein's Degas Ballerina. And finally, classic Harley Quinn by Chad Hardin. So last question, guys, and then we're going to sign it off. One place you would like to go, one Comic-Con that has eluded you that you guys would like to go when the world comes back to normal. Mustafa.
I've got to tick a lot off of my list. Dubai was amazing, and New York Comic Con was a madhouse. I've never done a Comic Con in Canada. I was going to last year, so I would like to. And
You'll love Toronto. The Toronto one has 140,000. Ask John.
Yeah, whichever.
It was excellent. What a great time.
I would love to. Yeah. I've been to San Diego Comic Con many times, and I've hung out at tables and stuff. I've never had like a table of my own, so I would like to do San Diego Comic Con. Yeah.
Very cool. Jamie, the world's
York
back.
Comic-Con. Easy.
Where are we going?
New York, New York, New York.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Jamie's singing the blues. Mr. McLeod, I know where you want to go. Share.
No, you don't. Where do I want to go, Steve?
You want to go overseas. You want to see the world.
I was going to just say I want to go to Lucca, Italy.
You're like the end of Aladdin where the genie's packing his bags.
I've never been to Lucca Con, and I'd love to go there.
Mr. Johnny Bear, where are you going?
I'd like to go overseas someplace, but I'd even like to just do Dallas. I have family in Texas. I've never been there.
Dallas is great.
No. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. He was shaking his head. I'm like,
the city is whatever, but Dallas is great. For Comic Cons, Dallas is great.
Oh, yeah, I love Dallas.
I would like to pay a pilgrimage to where the Sportatorium used to stand in the city, So if you're a wrestling fan, you'd get that. But yeah, and I'm open for pretty much anything. I'm tired of New York because you can't breathe in that place, in that show. I've never done San Diego. I always kind of begged off it because sometimes the crowds just get to be a little too much. But Toronto was wonderful. I highly recommend it.
So any closing thoughts before we sign off? We got 2 minutes left. John, you came came just in time to share your thoughts of wisdom. Any closing remarks?
I just sent you the Wacky Racist piece. It's in your email right now. No, I'm just sorry I was late, but unfortunately I'm off this week, and so are the kids, and there's been a lot of catching up work to do, which there always is in my life. But I've got some stuff on the board for our fiendish little plot here, and hopefully we will get back to normal, and we'll start seeing each other at some shows. That'd be really nice.
Well, one thing's for sure, guys. First show that we all can be together. Drinks are on me, okay? So on behalf of Mustafa, I'm glad to see that the power held out for the full 2 hours.
Yeah, I was really afraid it was going to shut down on me here, but we'll see. Yeah.
No, you did great, man. And we're sorry you're going through the hard time right now. I really hope, things come around for you there and you can get some heat in the house.
Well, it's warm now, and so I turn it up a little extra in case the power goes out so I can hold on to that warmth.
Okay, well, I think I speak for everybody here when we say, nothing but best wishes on keeping the heat on, and hopefully your parents don't have to come over, but if they do, just enjoy the time.
Yeah. Let's hope the power goes back on for them. Yeah.
Look at there.
So, on behalf of Mustafa Musa, Jamie Coker, Bob McLeod, and John Hebert, I want to thank everybody for watching. And if you're watching this in repeat mode or syndication, I hear we're more popular after hours. Thanks for watching. And we are
MBartist
here
after
every Wednesday, 3 to 5 p.m., and we promise we will do better. Well, we'll attempt to anyways. All right, good night, everybody. Thanks, guys.
All right. Good night.